You're welcome back to the show, Still Journalist Hangout. Moving on straight to our next conversation. Kaduna State, northwest Nigeria, holds a special place in the country's history. As such, it is home to some iconic landmarks. One of such is the Ahmadu Bello Stadium, Kaduna, which has played host to many memorable football matches. In our Journalist Hangout midweek special, Babajide Kolade Otitoju reports on the demolition and rebuilding of the legendary Ahmadu Bello Stadium. Here's the story.
The Ahmadu Bello Stadium in Kaduna State was designed in the mid-1960s by renowned English architects Jane Drew and Maxwell Fry. It emerged during a period when Nigeria was building civic institutions to reflect the ambition of a young and hopeful nation. The stadium was completed and opened in the year 1965. Originally listed with a seating capacity of about 16,000, the stadium was built as a multi-purpose arena with athletics and football at its heart. Yet, over the decades, Ahmadu Bello Stadium has witnessed far more bodies than seats. For major matches, crowds have surged into tens or thousands, producing unforgettable scenes and memories that have become part of Kaduna's sporting identity. Ahmadu Bello Stadium is more than local pride. It has been a stage for continental and global youth tournaments. The stadium has also welcomed the Super Eagles for competitive fixtures, qualifiers and friendlies that drew nationwide attention. One of its most talked about nights came in March 2016 when an African Cup of Nations qualifier between Nigeria and Egypt drew an estimated 40,000 fans, far beyond its official capacity. The chaotic overflow made international headlines, highlighting urgent concerns around crowd control and aging stadium infrastructure. And the story stretches beyond national colors. In the late 1970s, the highly publicized friendly featuring Fluminense of Brazil and events linked to Pele's tour stirred excitement across Kaduna, moments still fondly recalled in local memory. Like many mid-century arenas, Ahmadu Bello Stadium aged. For decades, it operated with minimal renovation. But in recent years, as interest in reviving Nigeria's sporting infrastructure grew, Governor Obasanjo announced a sweeping reconstruction, a complete overhaul aimed at restoring the stadium as a premier events hub and catalyst for sports development in Kaduna State. Governor Sani visited the Ahmadu Bello Stadium to assess progress on the reconstruction project. The arena is being rebuilt to meet full FIFA and World Athletics standards, positioning Kaduna as home to a modern world-class sporting complex. The governor says the 10-month project will restore the stadium's global relevance, create jobs, and boost tourism across the state.
So I'm happy that you are working within our schedule. And as you are aware, we are determined to complete the stadium, like you said, in just 10 months. And I want to make it clear to everyone, this is not renovation. This is reconstruction of a new stadium entirely. The most important thing is that Ahmadu Bello Stadium, like you all know, is one of the most iconic stadiums in the whole of Nigeria. In the past, it hosted FIFA events here.
The great Ahmadu Bello Stadium, where some of the greatest football matches in the history of our country were played. The greatest club game in the history of our country. Rangers International versus IICC Shooting Stars. Semi-final of the African Cup Winners' Cup in the year 1977 was played here at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium. And it ended in victory for Rangers International after penalty shootout. Rangers International went on to win the African Cup Winners' Cup that year. The year before, Shooting Stars had won the trophy. They became the first Nigerian club to win an African club championship. And Rangers were desperate to follow suit, having failed the year before to win the African club championship by losing in the final. That was in the year 1975. So it was a great game here. The Christian Chukus, the Mudalawas, the Christian Madus, the Aloysius Atwegus of this world came here to play. And in those days, the two teams constituted the Green Eagles. That match that IICC Shooting Stars lost, after 2 legs, the first leg played in Lagos and the second leg played here at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium, played a part in Nigeria not qualifying for the 1978 World Cup because the players were still bitter with one another. The rivalry was bitter. But that's the story of Ahmadu Bello Stadium. And I have with me Professor Benjamin Gugong, who is the Commissioner for Sports Development in Kaduna State. I also have with me the Managing Director of the Kaduna State Rules Development Agency. We call him Oga Kadra. He's all over the place. So we'll be going into the inner recesses of the Ahmadu Bello Stadium now to see the work that is going on.
Greatest iconic Ahmadu Bello Stadium. It was built in 1964. That is to say that it is 61 years old. Since it was constructed, then there has never been any major reconstruction or rebuilding or improvement of the stadium. His Excellency Senator Obasani, when he came on board, pursued the transfer of ownership of this great stadium back to Kaduna State Government. And His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu graciously approved that this stadium be transferred back to Kaduna State. As we speak now, Kaduna State are the owners of Ahmadu Bello Stadium.
So it has reverted to full ownership by Kaduna State Government?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, which
yes,
means
sir.
Kaduna State can decide to do whatever it likes with it.
Yes.
You can decide to turn it to a 100-seater stadium,
yes, sir.
like
yes,
Maracana,
yes, sir.
or
yes,
the No Camp,
yes,
the Giant Stadium.
Yes, sir.
You know,
yes,
like Old Trafford,
yes,
with the 76,000
yes.
capacity.
Yes, sir.
So you can choose to do whatever it
yes,
likes now.
They are improving on the seating capacity. They are changing. You can see this place that is demolished. This is where the VIP is going to be with all other offices as is required of any standard, world standard stadium. We're going to have a medical center in it. We are going to have anti-doping rooms in it. You are going to have all that a stadium needs that meets FIFA standard. And that is the essence, to be able to build a FIFA standard stadium where we can attract international and national matches now. You can see anytime there is competition, we go to Uyo and the rest of them.
Yes.
Because we don't have this kind of stadium that we need here in the north. This is going to be first of its kind in the north, and it was graciously approved by His Excellency Senator Obasani, the Governor of Kaduna State. This is first of reconstructing the VIP stand and then doing a metal work. They are going to put cover in all these seating arrangements before there was no. So there's going to be metal work that will cover. Yes.
I remember watching a match here
yes.
in 1985.
Yes.
When I was doing my A-levels.
Yes, sir.
And it rained.
Yeah.
I was beaten by rain throughout. It was a match between Abiola Babes and IICC Shooting Stars.
Okay.
The rain scared with us.
I assure you.
Only a small portion of it was covered.
Yes. By the time this project is over, rain will not touch anybody, even if it's raining and there's competition going on here.
So
they're going to cover ground, and then they are going to work on the tartar track.
Okay. So this used to be the VIP stand.
The VIP stand with other offices, changing rooms and everything. Yeah. The offices complex were here.
So the changing room for the teams
will be here.
Used to be here.
Used to be here. Anti-doping rooms, all these things are going to be put.
I'm told about the durable subsoil and drainage system, a decades-old engineering design that still channels water effectively and prevents waterlogging. Officials also highlight the quality of the pitched natural grass, which has been maintained to remain fully FIFA standard.
Are you sure that?
Yeah. This field is not waterlogged. It is one of the things that was well maintained in this facility. This field, even though the facility became dilapidated, but the field remains standard. You can see.
This is where the water system drainage.
Yes.
That's no matter how the field, water drop, it automatically go here, and it move down straight to the drainage. Yes. And it go out of the stadium. That is why Ahmadu Bello Stadium, no matter how draining it is, the water will not be on the pitch.
Yes, because I remember I watched matches here during the rain.
System that has been connected, and it drain it out. And our sprinklers, they are still functioning before the reconstruction.
So you retain this grass?
Yeah, because it is that is FIFA approved.
Yes, yes.
No, they will actually bring grass. They are going to do it, make it FIFA standards.
The state government plans to reinstall
Are you sure they are my size?
the tartan tracks so that international athletics competitions can also take place here. The grass, it feels very much like there is an underlay of foam on this field. The Ahmadu Bello Stadium used to have one of the best pitches in our country. And with the cell system working effectively at that time, even when it rains, the field was never waterlogged.
This is one of the legacy projects of His Excellency, Senator Dr. Malam Obasani. He directed the contractor to hand over this project within the next 10 calendar months.
Is that realizable?
It's realistic, Your Excellency. It's realistic. As you can see, the contractor is working day and night to deliver this project. We were here last evening. The contractor was working, and this is very, very possible. It's realizable in 10 months.
So let's talk about your principal's goal in embarking on this project. What was he really thinking when he got the president to concede this stadium to him? What was going through his mind?
Oh, actually, as we're aware, football, sports in general is one of the major revenue driving in any society. As you can see, this stadium, upon completion, based on the analysis we've gotten, if we go at 4 international matches, the state will be able to recoup its investment in this. So it will stimulate economic activities in Kaduna as regards to hotel, commercial activities, and whatever. So these are part of the vision of His Excellency for the great Kaduna State.
Instead of just leaving it
lying fallow,
yes,
without any addition. As you can see, this stadium, as Commissioner of Sports said, was built in 1964. It was designed by a British architect. Since then, there was no major...
A female architect?
Female architect, Jane Drew. She was the one that designed this.
What capacity, I know you must have had some discussions with the governor.
Yeah.
What is the seating capacity that you people have in mind?
Presently, the stadium is 16,000 capacity. Yes. But this is reconstruction. The governor is increasing the capacity to FIFA standard. So the minimum standard for FIFA is 20,000. 20,000. You have 30,000 and 40,000. With 40,000, you can the stadium can host a World Cup final. With 40,000 capacity, it will host a World Cup final. So that's what we are looking at. So it's
you are thinking about 30 or 40?
We are going to 25 to 30.
Christopher McKinney, one of the lead contractors, tells me about his experience working in London and other major cities. He assures us of the quality and durability of the work they plan to deliver. He adds that the state government has provided all necessary resources to ensure completion within record time.
At the moment, everything's very challenging to get out of the ground, as you say, you know. We're here only on a consulting basis, you know, but Maxime, you know. So, no, it's, what can I say? We're working hard to get it.
The governor wants this project delivered in 10 months. Are you certain that you meet his timeline? The inflationary trend affects a lot of materials that you need in production.
Specific to what you said, I thought that was part of what we discussed at the beginning of the project.
Yes.
And the MD was very much concerned about that. And so I'm happy to inform you that every material we need for this project have all been procured.
Okay.
To go a bit away from me, you see the steel yard, we have about over 160 tons of iron rods are there already.
Yes.
We have all the panels, the boards, you can see them, they are still offloading. Everything is procured, so we don't envisage to have problem on that, except, of course, fluctuation in labor rate, which is not a problem. There's a provision to take care of all that.
Okay. A part of your responsibility is this pitch, bringing this pitch to international standard. Right. Tell me exactly what you plan to do with this pitch.
Okay, we are not removing everything. We are going to kind of rehabilitate what we have here, remodel what we have here, then put it up to a standard that it will be efficiently used for whatever that is needed for, and then in line with the specification of FIFA standard. Because we're talking about FIFA now. Yeah. While we were talking a while ago, we talked about FIFA. You know the standard of FIFA cut across. In fact, mostly pitch is number one.
That's the scoreboard.
Yeah, the screen.
As a fan and a journalist who has watched and covered matches here, I headed towards the scoreboard, a nostalgic landmark of the stadium's past.
TV crews used to make use of this platform back in the day so that they can get a good view of the stadium and the match being played. But the engineers have told me that this will give way completely in the redesign and rebuilding of the Ahmadu Bello Stadium. So this will be removed and replaced with something modern.
I also visited the area set aside as the new training pitches. As its reconstruction gathers momentum, Ahmadu Bello Stadium enters a fresh era. For the people of Kaduna State, the dream remains unchanged. The cheers that once swelled to gigantic roars from these stands many years ago will return, louder, safer, and shining under new floodlights.
From the Ahmadu Bello Stadium, Kaduna, that is being rebuilt. Babajide Kolade Otitoju, TVC News.
I mean, beautiful report, BKO. And now, looking at it, they said the project will be completed in 10 months. Based on current progress and also what you observed, I heard you ask them, a lot of time, the timeline. Is it realistic?
I have my doubts, but let's see how far they can go. I don't want to write them off. But I think 10 months is a little ambitious. Okay. There's a lot. They told me that a lot of the things that they need are being shipped into the country. New floodlights, new electronic scoreboard and all that. These days they don't build electronic scoreboard like we see that we used to have.
Yes.
So I hope that as long as money is released to the contractors promptly, I think they will do their best. Even if they don't deliver at that time, they should deliver close to the time.
Absolutely. Well, our time is fast spent. Thank you so much for coming to have this conversation with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
BKO, the Lord will renew your strength. Amen. Keep doing it, okay? Amen. We appreciate you. And that's it on Journalist Hangouts today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Benga Oreshegun. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.